Northern Ireland, Arlene Foster. I'm sorry to keep you in the cold there. It's a great joy to see you. Just give us a sense of how separated you feel from Great Britain at the moment. Are supermarkets, businesses, ordinary people still struggling to get what they want from Great Britain as a result of this Northern Ireland Protocol?
Yeah, so good evening, Robert. It's not just about businesses, and I'm pleased that you have that data from Manufacturing NI. It's also about citizens who are actually trying to get parcels delivered from Great Britain. And of course, then it's also about the fact that we were promised unfettered access from Great Britain into Northern Ireland, and a lot of people remember the Prime Minister's words around that and feel that that hasn't happened, and in fact quite the opposite has happened. There are now barriers between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and of course that's not acceptable for the greater number of people who live here. Now,
you've presumably seen both, obviously, the letter that Michael Gove wrote to the EU negotiator Maros Sefcovic and the reply tonight from Maros Sefcovic, where he was broadly saying you're going to have to lump it and, you know, this hard border, these checks are going to remain. What did you make of that?
Well, I wasn't surprised because I sat in on the meeting between Michael Gove and Maros Sefcovic last week, and it really was an occasion of putting his head in the sand and his fingers in his ears. There was complete, as if nothing had happened the Friday before in terms of the Article 16 triggering by the European Commission, and that we should just all move along and pretend that it hadn't happened. But worse than that, in his response actually to Michael Gove this evening, he's actually asking for more protocols. So the answer to the difficulties with the protocol and the fact that we have this real problem for trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, in other words, internally in the UK single market, is actually more protocol. We need to be tighter on the protocol, and I think that that's an incredible state of affairs.
Now, we've got lots more to talk to you about. I've got one more before we have to go to a break, unfortunately, which is what do you think realistically Michael Gove may be able to get from the EU? Because, I mean, there's no chance that the EU is simply going to, you know, tear everything up and say the border is completely open, is there?
Well, the EU need to understand in reality what the Belfast Agreement says. I thought it was actually interesting to hear from Lord David Trimble over the weekend, who of course is one of the architects of the Belfast Agreement, who very clearly said that the Belfast Agreement had been misused and abused by the European Commission. And actually what should happen is that there should be a system of mutual recognition of standards on our goods between the United Kingdom and the European Union. So there you have it from the man who actually brought us the Belfast Agreement, saying that the European Union simply doesn't get the Belfast Agreement.
Can I just now get back to some of the really big politics about all of this? I mean, you know, Michael Gove, Boris Johnson, they say that they want Northern Ireland to remain part of the United Kingdom, but do you really believe them?
Well, I do believe them. I believe they are both unionists, but it's important that they act on that now, and it's important that they realise that part of the United Kingdom is being treated differently. And actually, if you look at the protocol, it talks about respecting the fact that the sovereign territory of the United Kingdom is one. It also talks about respecting the internal market of the United Kingdom. I don't believe that the European Union is doing either of those things, and so I believe it is up to our government to challenge them on that and the fact that they are separating out Northern Ireland from the rest of the United Kingdom.
But you warned, you know, the Prime Minister and indeed Michael Gove that the Northern Ireland Protocol was incompatible, really, with being a full member of the United Kingdom and indeed incompatible with the Good Friday Agreement. Why didn't they listen to you?
Well, that's a very good question, and I hope that you will put that to both of them on some occasion. But I think the greater emphasis at that time, as you well know, was getting Brexit done. And regrettably, I think that they thought we will get Brexit done and then we'll return to deal with the issues of the protocol. But the issues of the protocol are fundamental, not just to trade, not just to the fact that consumers can't get goods. For goodness sake, you can't even get a pot plant from Great Britain into Northern Ireland at the moment, which is absolutely incredible. It also goes to the very heart of our United Kingdom, and therefore there is a real need to deal with these issues.
But can I ask you?
Unionist politician in Northern Ireland that agrees with this protocol, and actually that goes to the very heart actually of the Belfast Agreement, which was about balance between the communities. And if one of the communities, i.e. the largest community, the Unionist community, completely rejects something, then that should be something of concern, not just in London, but also in Dublin as well.
Yes, but on that, you know, just the other day, Michael Gove told MPs that these sort of difficulties of the European Union at this stage, he said it was a bit like the turbulence you get at liftoff, and any time now we'd be, you know, eating the peanuts. Actually, you're not allowed peanuts on planes, but peanuts and gin and tonic. I mean, that was really, wasn't it, to trivialise a very serious problem?
Yes, I did hear him say that, but I also heard David Frost give evidence to the same committee, and he very much pointed out that there was severe difficulties here, that we needed to get them sorted, and therefore I think there is an understanding in government, and I heard the Prime Minister again on the House of Commons floor responding to one of my MPs today, saying that if necessary they would trigger Article 16. So I think there is a growing understanding in Downing Street that we need to get these matters sorted. It's hugely important for us here in Northern Ireland, right across the community, because nationalists aren't getting their Amazon parcels just as much as unionists aren't getting their Amazon parcels. So it's important that we get these issues solved, and it's important we do so soon, very soon.
Look, in a word, I mean, Brexit is certainly turned out very difficult for you, possibly catastrophic. Do you regret backing Brexit?
No, I don't regret backing Brexit, because Brexit actually puts the United Kingdom on a global stage, moves away from the bureaucracy and inflexibility of the European Commission. And my goodness, haven't we in Northern Ireland seen that since the protocol was implemented? It's a very good demonstration of what the European Union does best. When there's a problem, you give more of Europe instead of actually trying to deal with the problem. But there's an issue with the protocol, so it's important that we deal with that issue of the protocol, and I'm calling upon our Prime Minister, he's the Prime Minister of the entire United Kingdom, to deal with these issues and to deal with them quickly.
First Minister, I'm delighted to see you as ever. Thank you so much.